Alrighty, folks, welcome to What It Takes. My name is Kevin Shaw, and here at Beachbody, we have an entire group of people dedicated to helping coaches reach their potential. If you are a diamond coach or above, check out FAQ 7581 to learn more about how we can help you achieve your goals. What It Takes, guys, is a weekly mini-series where we ask the same questions to elite coaches and they talk about what it takes to become an elite coach. Today, I'm talking with the number 14 coach in the network, 2018 elite coach, and the founder of the Good Vibe Tribe, Ashley Locklin. Ashley, welcome to What It Takes.
Thank you, Kevin. Thanks for having me.
This is very much an honor for me. Thank you for joining us. Okay, before we get started, tell us just a little bit about yourself.
So I was a full-time teacher. I struggled with weight my entire life. And then I saw a friend post about a challenge group, PIO, and I was like, that looks like something I could do because I don't like exercise, but that looks more my speed. So I joined her challenge group. I fell in love with Shakeology. I fell in love with the community. I stalked her and other coaches for 6 months before deciding, okay, I want to do this as a hobby. And then 1 week into coaching, I was like, I have to go all in. This is better than my teaching career could ever, provide me. So I went all in, and I've been a coach for 3 years. I'm now a full-time coach, home with my daughter. She's here. You'll probably see her at some point, and life is just extraordinary.
I love that. That's everybody's story. The person who was somewhat interested, not really interested, I just want to be a hobby, and then, oh my gosh, I can make this a business. And here you are a few years later. Awesome. Okay. Let's jump right into the questions. Ashley, how are you, introduced to Beachbody? You kind of explained that, but anything more on how you're introduced to Beachbody?
No, my friend posted publicly about a challenge group, and I saw that and was like, I need to be in there. I told my husband, and we truly didn't have the money. We were trying to sell our house, and the house that we still owned, a pipe broke and the entire house was flooded and had to be remodeled. And so we were stuck with 2 mortgage payments and we couldn't even make one. And here I am asking to buy a challenge pack. And he's like, it's a scam, you can't do it. And I saved the money I got for my 30th birthday from my grandparents. And I was like, this is what I'm spending my money on. And he's like, if you want to, we should really put that towards bills. And I just knew that I needed this more than I needed to pay that electric bill. And my life has forever changed. So that was the best investment and sacrifice I ever made.
Wow. I don't think I ever knew that story about you. I've been talking to you for a long time. I never knew that story. That is a fascinating story. Thanks for sharing that. All right. So now that you signed up, describe what those early days look like for you.
So when I first signed up, I was still working a full-time job. I was halfway through a doctoral program, getting my doctorate. So I was going to school full-time on the weekends, all summer. And I then got pregnant and we were in the middle of a move. So I had very little time to devote to this business and my husband was not supportive whatsoever. So it was definitely a struggle and it required me waking up early. I stopped socializing with all of my coworkers, all of my friends at nighttime and on the weekends. I turned down every social event, every family's birthday party, because I knew I needed to make those sacrifices then. It was a short-term sacrifice that was going to yield a long-term reward. So I thought if I miss my cousin's 3rd birthday party now, it's going to allow me to go to every single birthday party from here on out and get him the best gift ever. And so that's exactly what I did. So those first 2 years was straight hustle, blinders on, tons of sacrifices. And now I truly live my life by design.
Oh, you still there? Cut now.
A lot of work, but it was all worth it.
Awesome. Okay. Great stuff. I love the fact that you talked about the sacrifice in the beginning, the hustle in the beginning. That's, that's what it takes. If you guys are looking, coach, if you're watching this, to get where Ashley is or anywhere near where Ashley is, that's what it takes. You got to take the sacrifices now so you can enjoy the freedoms later. All right. So what do you feel are some attributes or habits you have that contribute to your success?
So first is confidence. I think that is the number one thing. And I just got back from Brendan Burchard's. You were there, Kevin, High Performance Academy. And the one thing that really stood out to me was he said, confidence is a decision. And I think that I have just adopted that from the very beginning. I have always kind of faked it till you made it, right? So at the beginning, I acted like I was the top coach. I had no customers, no coaches, but I acted like it was in your very best interest to join me and that I could lead you effectively. And I knew that I would just figure it out. So I had that confidence and I just faked it. I acted like I was the coach that I wanted to be. And I think that was what was really important. And then is discipline. So one of my favorite quotes is, we all must suffer from two pains, the pain of regret or the pain of discipline. And so I have just always been disciplined. I stay up late or get up early, and I still make a ton of sacrifices. And I know that they are going to pay off, and they are paying off. So I think you have to have confidence. You have to have extreme belief, unwavering belief in this opportunity. So when I was a new coach and wasn't making $1, I acted like I was making all the money in the world because I saw what the other coaches who've gone before me were making, what they were doing. And I knew that if they could do it, I could do it too. I didn't believe that this business played favorites or that it was luck. So I just had extreme belief and discipline, confidence, belief, and discipline. That's what got me here and continues to drive me forward.
I hope you guys wrote that down. That is the magic to success. I can't stress enough. If you guys can duplicate what Ashley just talked about, I see success in your future. We have to think long-term. We have to think outside of where we are today. And just like she said, start working as if things are where exactly they should be. Very, very good advice. Okay, so what advice do you have for the brand new coach who doesn't know where to start? What can they start doing today to achieve long-term success?
It really just all comes down to the vitals. I know you're probably sick of hearing that, but the number one thing I always tell my team is do your workout and post about it every single day. That's all it comes down to, is showing people your journey, your process, how you're fitting into your day, but also try to share that backstory behind the workout. The number one thing you should not do is say, snap a sweaty selfie and say, oh, I did my workout today, did you? Nobody cares. That's not going to hit people where it hurts. Instead, you have to dig deep and you have to share that underlying story. Did you feel like doing your workout? Do you have a million things on your plate and you thought, oh, I could really use this 30 minutes somewhere else, or I was up all night with my baby, or I have a lot of work to do? What is that underlying story? And for me, I always talk about this on every training I do. I don't have it in front of me though, but it's a struggle web. And I just have a web of all of my struggles. And every day I sit down and think, what struggle can I share today about this workout? So it may be, I always talk about this example. It's, I hate my thighs. So I would say, I'm the girl who would never stand up without a cover up on. I'm the girl who would never let somebody walk behind me in a bathing suit. But I just did this leg workout and I can't wait to show, my butt off at the beach this year. Something like that. Where is it going to hit people? I always say, when people read your post, you want them to say, holy cow, that is me to a T, or you are reading my mind. So don't just say, did my workout today. Do your workout, but share the underlying story that's really going to connect with someone. And then secondly is invite. So every single time I do a workout, I have a call to action on that post. And I say, I have a new fit club starting, comment below or message me if you're interested in joining. So consistently, every day, I'm putting it out there that, hey, I'm doing this workout and you can do it right alongside me. And then I send out those private invites as well. And then most importantly is personal development. If you're skipping that, you're not going to have the confidence to share those deep stories, to connect with people, to push back on objections, or to just be motivated to keep going. So my role is that anytime I'm in the bathroom, no matter what I'm doing, I have personal development on. Anytime I'm in the car, I have personal development on. And that's just how I get it in all day. And right now I'm committed to reading or listening to, through Audible, 1 book a week. And it is really just driving me. I had a slower month last month, but now I'm so revved up. And I really attribute that to the personal development.
So I think after listening to this, I need to charge people to watch What It Takes. I mean, there's so much good information being shared right now that we need to charge people for this. You can pay me right here. Who cares what I do with the funds? That's my personal thing. But this is phenomenal information, coaches. Holy cow. Okay. What about the coach who is struggling or who is thinking about giving up? What advice do you have for them?
Think about why you started, what your why was, what your long-term vision was. Everybody starts and has some sort of vision and reason why they're doing this. And you have to understand that you're not the only one getting no's. You're not the only one getting silence. You're not the only one struggling with balance. And I think that's what a lot of people get frustrated with is I'm getting a lot of no's, nobody's responding. The coaches who bring in the most Success Club members get way more no's than anyone else. So remember that sales ratio. It's 1 out of 10 people are going to commit. So for me to get 50 Success Club points a month, think of how many no's I got in order to get those 25 yeses. So we aren't just getting tons of yeses. I'm just getting more no's and moving on. And then you just have to have that vision. What do you want? And I always tell people, is what you're doing today going to get you to where you want to be in 1 year? So if you quit this and you just stick with your normal 9-to-5 daily hustle job, in 1 year, are you going to be any further along? Are you going to have any more freedom? Are you going to be able to control your income the way you could do it with this? So ask yourself, in 1 year, where do I want to be? If I quit this coaching gig, will I be able to get there? And then what is my long-term vision? And do you have the grit and just the perseverance to keep going through all the no's and all the silences? Because guess what? Those will all turn into yeses eventually. What you do today is going to pay off in 60 to 90 days. So just remember that.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I just heard? I just heard coaches say, yeah, I'm back in this. We're back in this. This is great stuff. Okay, last question on advice. What is the best advice someone has given you regarding your business?
Yeah, so actually, so many, but one of them is fear is a great motivator. And so you have to take big risks if you want big rewards. So for me, when I took the risk of investing in that initial challenge pack, look how that has changed my life. When I take the risk of putting myself out there and sharing a story that I don't really want to share, it always makes my business explode. So when you feel fear, that's an indication of where you need to go and what you need to do. So use that as your motivation and know that on the other side of fear is everything that you want. And you have to step outside your comfort zone if you want to get anywhere in life.
Perfect. Okay, let's move on to the speed round. Actually, I'm looking for short, sweet answers here. On average, how much time do you spend working your business per day?
Okay, this is I work a lot because I have big goals. I have a lot of student loan debt that I need to pay off. So I always tell people, don't get intimidated by how many hours I'm working. You have to align your goals with your priorities and your needs. So I personally, Monday through Friday, work at least 8 hours a day, usually 10. And on the weekends, it's usually a minimum of 6 hours a week. So every day, without fail, no matter what.
And what was it like in the beginning for coaches who are like, holy cow, there's no way I could do that?
It was 1 hour a day at the very beginning. And that hour was broken up into 20-minute increments all over the day.
Okay. What is your average SC each month?
75 points.
Okay. And what percentage of time do you focus on your own business versus your team?
I still do 80% of my time is devoted to my business, recruiting new coaches, recruiting new challengers, pouring into those recruits, coming up with social media content. And then 20% of my day, every day, is devoted to one-on-one calls, group calls, live videos in my team page, and messages with my team.
Great. And how many coaches do you enroll each month?
Oh, sorry, you broke up there and I didn't hear you.
How many coaches do you enroll each month?
20 to 30.
Okay. And so, coaches, if you're listening to this, before I move on to the last question here, if these numbers are just astronomically high, remember Ashley's the number 14 coach in the network. This is not where she has always been. This is where she's at right now. But she started right where you are, and she committed to a certain amount, and she just continues to grow at a pace. But you need to, just like she said, you have to move where you are currently. You have to say, okay, what else can I do? Because I have big goals. How can I get there? It's going to start by you just adding just a little bit more on each and every time. Okay, let's move on to the final question. This is my favorite question of the whole day. Questions from a hat. Ashley, she looks so nervous. Here we go. Here is the final question. You're married, so let's not tell your husband. If you could date any celebrity, who would it be and why? It's a very important question.
I don't know. I really am just happy with my husband. I thought you were going to say celebrity trainer, like who's my favorite, but so I'll just stick with the Beachbody world, and it's definitely Shaun T.
Very nice. A lot of people are Shaun T fans. Okay, coaches, this one is a bookmarker. This one you have to pay attention. I would share this with your team. I'd pass this along. Great information from somebody who has very quickly, 2017 for Ashley was a phenomenal year, and she made it happen. And this is exactly what it takes to become successful. Ashley, thank you so much for joining us today on What It Takes.
Thanks, Kevin.